Alright, today's video is going to cover appropriate units. There's no calculator for this skill. It's mainly just identifying the two measurements and how those two measurements are being measured, or those two quantities are being measured. I guess that'd be a better way of saying it. So I'm going to go ahead and read this problem. Abdi Bun wants to model how a car's maintenance costs change as the distance someone drives the car increases. So the first part would be identify the two quantities that we're comparing. It looks like the first quantity is the car's maintenance cost, and the second quantity would be the distance someone drives. And this word "as" is kind of important because it tells us which of these is the cause and which is the effect. So does the car's cost cause somebody to drive more, or does the amount that somebody drives cause the car to cost differently? So here this would be the cause. The more you drive the car, the less it's worth. There's the effect. Cars are depreciating assets, and the word "as" kind of tells us that. Now that we've got that, we can go ahead and formulate the ratio, which is car's cost. So car cost over distance. The cause always goes in the denominator and the effect is always in the numerator, and you can kind of see that over in the notes. Now we're just looking for step 3, which is identify how we would measure car cost. Would we measure it in milliliters? No. Would we measure it in meters? No. Might we measure it in money? Yeah. Would we measure it in kilometers? No. So just based on that, we can eliminate all 3 other answers, and then you can see, yeah, we could measure distance in kilometers. So C would be our answer here for this particular problem. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to see if we can go a little bit quicker. These can take a long time. Katusha decides to measure how the volume of water households use changes as the area of their property increases. So let's go ahead and identify the two things it's measuring, or the two quantities. So we got volume of water households use, and the second quantity that we've got here is the area of their property. Okay, and the key word here is "as." So the volume, does the area of the property cause them to use more volume, or does them using more volume of water cause their house to grow? No. The bigger the house, the more water, right? So the cause is the area, and the effect is the volume of H2O. So now we're just looking for appropriate units. So how would we measure volume of H2O? Would we measure it in households? No. Would we measure volume in square meters? No. Would we measure volume in square kilometers? No. Would we measure volume in liters? Yeah, we might measure volume in liters, and we're definitely measuring area in square meters. In America, normally we measure in square feet, but we're obviously not in America for this particular problem, given that name right there. So I guess D would be the correct answer. And let's see if we're right. Boom. Heba is a personal fitness trainer. She wants to measure the rate at which her client's muscle mass increases over time. So let's go ahead and identify the two quantities. So it looks like she wants to measure the rate at which her client's muscle mass, so muscle mass is one of the quantities that we're measuring here, and increases, I guess, and over time. I mean, that's literally telling us what the fraction is, right? It's literally saying, dude, put muscle mass and put that muscle mass over time. So we got muscle mass, can't spell, muscle mass over time. So we're looking for something that represents mass in the numerator, something that represents time in the denominator. I'm going to go ahead and go through these and eliminate ones that I know are not the answer, based on the fact that time should be in the denominator. And remember, per's the fraction line. So Do we measure in time in years? Yeah, I guess we could. We definitely don't measure in time in centimeters. We could measure time in months. And we definitely don't measure time in kilograms. So those two are out. Boom. Out. Out. Now, if I'm looking at muscle mass, do we measure muscle mass in months? Oh, I'm sorry. Why did I X that one out? That one's in. This one's out. Do we measure muscle mass in cubic centimeters, or do we measure it in kilograms? I'm not quite sure. That doesn't look right. Cubic kind of throwing me off. But one thing I know is we're probably not going to measure our muscle mass every year. We're probably going to measure it every month. So I'm thinking C's our answer and A's out. And we're right. And this brings us to the end of the longest video I've made all year. Sorry guys, trying to keep them short. Shout out to Iris for reminding me to make the video. Thanks, Iris.